So I want to just deal with a couple things this afternoon. We're not going to vote on H41. I'll explain that in a moment. But I want to talk a little bit about that bill and then a little bit about H118, the hate crime bill. So you always think that you've got a bill all the way there and then it's straightforward and then something comes up. So the intent of this bill is that it, from what I understand, which is H41, is that it's not aimed at fetuses and stillborn individuals, or that's an issue that has come up. And the question was, does this apply? And I don't think we've ever talked about that. I don't think that was the intent of the bill originally. But I'm just putting a pause and have asked legislative counsel to look closely at this and look closely at the language and make sure we're doing what we intend to do so that there's not this unintended consequence. So that's where that bill is. So hopefully we'll be voting on that the next couple of days, but we just wanted to make sure that we due diligence and it doesn't apply beyond what the intent was. So happy to answer questions on that.
No,
as far as I know.
Right. I'm just going to say it makes sense to me. I mean, there's been many bills passed through this building, over, however many years with unintended. And if we can avoid unintended consequences, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Right. So that will stall it a little bit, but not by much, I don't think. I think it should be relatively straightforward. We're just going to make sure. So on the issue of the hate crimes bill, there's a couple outstanding issues. One is whether there was agreement, I thought there was on Friday, to strike the term, and if you see the bill, but it's to strike the term particular. A person who commits causes to be committed or attempts to commit any crime and whose conduct is motivated in whole or in part by another person's or a group of particular persons' actual perceived membership in a protected category. I think the idea is we did not need to have the word particular, and that kind of confused things a little bit and wasn't very good grammar. So. But I'm open to hear input on that particular issue first. Yeah, Ian.
On that particular issue.
Thank you. Thank you.
3:30 on Tuesday. Totally agree. And I think even we heard testimony that, I may be wrong, but I think we heard testimony that having the particular in there may create the same issue that they're trying to, or it may muddy and have that same problem with like particular victim with a particular group. So yeah, I fully support removing it.
So for those who are unable to be here, and I know Zach was having a good time in New York while we were.
I didn't catch up on all testimony though.
Oh, did you? Did you watch Smola?
I did.
I thought he was really good. Yeah, he was really good. So in any event, because he kind of went and talked about that. The other was whether we were going to add any additional categories. And I have put online the correspondence that I had with law enforcement. So
did we ever get, not to interrupt you, Martin, did we ever get commissioners' take in writing on that?
I did not, but I didn't. My view of that was that would have shown that I wasn't trusting that Burke was actually reached out, and he's. He's.
And I don't mean to say that I'm not.
I
am questioning him. I just.
Right. But that's why I didn't.
Okay.
Because that would have really been questioning that. I can't trust that you, as a member or as a leader in the Association of Chiefs of Police, don't have that communication with Morrison. And so that's why I didn't. Yeah. I put that on there, so we have that there. My inclination, as I've explained before, is not to expand the categories any further. There was also a request to look into the possibility of expanding the category to immigration status, which I'm declining to look at that as well. So I think just leaving the category where it is right now and adding that additional language. So we're focusing on conduct. Is what I would propose for folks, but I'm open to hear where folks are on this. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question about the issue that you're declining to explore?
Yes.
Which I will acknowledge is a tiny exploration of the issue. Well, I was just wondering if national origin may help with
It could apply.
wish
That's
to
why I was
include
wondering.
migratory status.
It's a little bit different.
It is, I know,
It's a little bit different.
it's a little different, but I'm,
But the reason that it came up was that supposedly in the housing committee, they're looking at that. And it's not quite that from what I understand. It has to do with the social security numbers for getting housing. That's different than protected status. So that was my inclination that, let them figure that out. And if they advance that ball, then Senate can take it up if they want. Yes. I'd rather just keep where we are with it is right now. So where are folks? Are folks good with this right now that we could vote where it is out tomorrow? Giving more people? I mean, I'm not telling you how to vote, just that you're good to have the vote tomorrow.
so the only change to the current draft would be the removal of the word particular
Right.
on line 16 of page 1.
If folks have enough time with this, do we need to hear from anybody else?
And have time to discuss it a little bit tomorrow.
Well, we have time right now. If folks have things to weigh in on it at this point, if people want to let us know. Yeah. On this building. Easy to bring. So,
Do we want to elicit additional testimony?
I mean, if we need to, I mean, I guess, yeah, what would be the additional testimony that you think we need?
I get, the only question I have, and I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but the only reason that I brought up law enforcement in the initial conversation was because we have US Armed Forces and National Guard. So I'm just kind of curious, and like, part of me is wondering if that could even just be, even if we could consolidate that language into those in service of the country.
Right. I think that gets pretty broad. So frankly, we're I'm not sure when or how US Armed Forces or the National Guard got in here as an additional category. But I'd almost be inclined to not include that because it's different than all the other categories.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like it's somebody's choice to go into the National Guard or Armed Forces. You don't have that necessary same kind of choice with a lot of the other perceived membership. But I'm fine to leave that, but I don't want to extend it. It's there. I'm not going to upset that one. But it doesn't fit, frankly, with all the rest of the other protected categories. But I'm willing to let that lie. So you're kind of pushing towards one direction. I would push towards the other direction.
Yeah, no, and I understand.
So,
I understand that.
so thus, just leave that part untouched is kind of where.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
I think it gives the entities that have the responsibility being the AG's office and the Human Rights Commission a much clearer perspective to deal with. And anytime that we can do that, it makes life, easier. It's not to say that, we would necessarily decide one way or another, but in the deciding on which cases to take, this will help in that guidance.
As far as the other changes that we require. Yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in? And we can, we can have more further discussion tomorrow if you want, but if people have things to say now. Where's Ben?
Hi, everyone. Ben Novogroski from the Office of Legislative Counsel. I just wanted to clarify the changes to make prior to tomorrow. So removing the word particular from the bill.
Correct.
And then was there another one? I may have missed it.
No, that was it.
Okay.
So, all right, so I guess that's that for now. While I have everybody here for a couple of minutes, I know everybody would just love to get out yet again early. And just failing and using and maximizing all of our time, but we can work on other things. So we will have this for a vote tomorrow, and we will hopefully have additional discussion language on 41, and maybe vote that out tomorrow as well. So we're meeting in here for next week. Just real quickly for next week, in case people have particular witnesses they want to hear from. So we'll probably all day Tuesday and Wednesday, we will get testimony on the amendment that we haven't seen yet on H2, which deals with all the kind of raise the age issues, including delaying raise the age and putting some accountability things in there. So we'll start taking testimony next week on, and we'll probably also start taking testimony on budget and budget requests. State's Attorney's Court, Defender General, Human Rights Commission, victim advocates, CJCs, and the like. So we'll probably start doing that next week as well. Hopefully by then we'll have a good sense of what's in the budget from the governor on those issues, and then we'll hear from the different individuals. There may be one other bill that we'll take up, and it depends on how the other bills that we have on board this week, how they go, including the adoption bill and a couple others that are on the agenda. But the one that Karen, what's the bill number for the writ one that Tom Oliver likes? 21. So we will probably take up H21. We'll probably do another next week, unless we have. But it doesn't sound like we're going to have the domestic violence bills ready yet.
Two would be probably, one would not.
So there may be the bills that are from this year's Fatality Review Commission recommendations that we might take up as well. So anything else, folks? I hate to be done at 10 to 4, but